Formerly suicidal redditors. What's something that kept you alive a little while longer and helped you to get through the dark times in your lives? If you ever need help, then please know that there are many qualified people who would like to help you. USNCA. UK. Oh. There are crisis services worldwide that are trained to provide support. They are designed to give temporary relief from feelings that are overwhelming you, and while they are unlikely to fix any underlying problems, can help you get through a tough hour/night/week. Chat services are usually available on these sites. In the US, calling 211 or going to their website is a free referral source. They have providers who will see you regardless of your ability to pay. Just as you would see a doctor when you are sick, you deserve to take care of your mental health. Knowing that my mom wouldn't have someone to walk her down the aisle when she married my now stepfather. My dad had died 3 years prior, and I think it would have broken her completely. Hurting people was mine, too. Even if it's just a janitor or cop. I don't want to make sad work for anyone ever. The thought that any of my students might look at my decision and choose to follow in my footsteps. I could accept my own death, but I couldn't stand the idea of theirs. When I was in 6th grade, my science teacher committed suicide. It scarred me. I promised to myself to never kill myself because I didn't want anyone to feel the pain I felt on that day when they announced this to everyone. My 7th grade geography teacher committed suicide. He was so congenial, almost robotically friendly, and our whole inner city public school class walked all over him. One day near the end of the year, he completely snapped and started cussing us out up and down. We were all in disbelief and shock. A few months later we found out he killed himself. Left a family behind. At the funeral his wife said he had always struggled with mental health issues. It was really heartbreaking. As a teacher, it's hard to accept that sometimes being nice allows us to be mistreated, as people see it as a sign of weakness. Yet, as an adult now, I worked as a teacher for 3 years. It was gratifying but one of the most mentally and emotionally exhausting jobs. It takes so much balancing, finding where to be open for helping your students and where to draw your boundaries. I can always kill myself. So why not keep pushing just another day? I used to say that when I was getting clean. Every single day for over a year I'd say I'm getting high tomorrow, 11 YRS clean now. You absolute madlad. You procrastinated your way to freedom. Serious props to you. All that held me back was the feeling of guilt for how my family would feel. I couldn't do it to them. I used to think, I can't do it because my parents would be crushed. Eventually, even that wasn't enough. I found a thread on Reddit that was nothing but comments and stories from people whose loved one committed suicide. That did it for me. I sobbed because it took this ambiguous notion of it would hurt mom and dad and turned it into something more concrete. Instead of just knowing they'd be upset. That thread helped me see how it would affect them in the long term. I turned to that thread several times over a 2-year period. I haven't had to read in a long time. But I think that thread did help save my life. I'll have to search for it when I get home and share the link. Edit. Looks like you/AC Quinn found it for us before I got home. For anyone who's curious, this is the thread I'm talking about. It helped me a lot. Though your mileage may vary, I imagine plenty of people might find it more upsetting than helpful. Edit 2. I've gotten a ton of messages and replies from people thanking me for sharing the link and saying they're struggling with suicidal thoughts and ideation. I want to add something for those of you who are in the spot I was once in. You know that stupid saying, "It gets better?" Well, it really does get better. I was diagnosed with PTSD and severe chronic depression and anxiety in my 20s. and I was suicidal for several years. I finally got help. It wasn't a quick and easy fix, it literally took years and lots of work. But the important thing is that getting help was the turning point. I've put my life back together and I'm doing really well. And although I do sometimes slip back into severe depressive episodes, just climbed out of one. In fact, I can remind myself, I've got this. I've beat it before and I know I can do it again. Even if it feels like I can't. I could use the link. Edit. Wow. I appreciate all of the responses. I'm not in a dangerous spot. I've just been getting the ideation stuff a lot more lately. In the past, I've found it helpful to read experiences from survivors of loved ones who committed suicide. Thanks for all the kind words, everyone. And the chat requests. I finished a suicide note and folded it into my wallet on the bus ride back onto base after a weekend of binge drinking on the beach to avoid every person I could. When I got back to the barracks, I looked at my rackmate and told him exactly what I wrote down in that note, and instead of making things worse, he genuinely helped me. And reminded me that not every Marine is meant to do a full term. Sometimes things just don't go as planned and it's okay to take that DD-214 early. Even if it will disappoint your family. We still talk around the holidays every year. Edit. Thank you for the award. I've never received one on Reddit to my knowledge. I would also like to add that if anybody reads this, and you feel somewhat lost while in the military, don't be afraid to go to medical and talk about it. It happens unfortunately often where speaking directly to your chain of command will not help things and word can travel fast. But there is absolutely nothing wrong in seeking help to allow yourself to be the best Marine/sailor or whatever title you gave your all to achieve. It's just harder in some units compared to others. That's awesome of them. Glad you two keep in touch. My cat helped me to keep going. Unfortunately, she passed away. But I keep going with her in mind. What has helped me is to keep my mind busy at all times. I work on my YouTube videos or paint a lot. It keeps me focused on just that. I'm still depressed and suicidal. But haven't had an episode, as I call them, for some months now. Except some days. Mood. When I was in high school, my 3 pets kept me alive. I wanted to stay in the world with them. Sadly, they have all since passed away now. My 3 current pets help me. And I love them to bits. But it hurts in an indescribable way for the 3 who originally kept me alive to no longer be alive when I am. It'd be weird if I died and still had packages coming in the mail. So I try to keep something coming that I can look forward to. I used to really enjoy going to gigs. So when I was struggling with depression, I'd make sure I had tickets to see a band I liked. On the particularly bad days, I'd think it'd be silly to do anything before I see them play. Seems a bit silly to write, but it worked for me. I guess have something to look forward to. Whatever it is. Stubbornness. When I was in middle and high school, the first time I was suicidal, I thought I wouldn't make it to 25. When I got out of that, I decided I was going to make it to 25. Damn the torpedoes. Full speed ahead. I'm 25 now, but I made it this far. If the mental illness wants me dead so badly, it needs to shut down my organs and kill me its damn self. Because I'm not going anywhere. Also, my pets. I don't want to be without my pets. They were the only things that made me happy. And even when I didn't feel like anyone else loved me, I knew they did. The guilt if I failed and everyone found out. It sounds like you have people that you care about and who care about you. I hope you get to spend some time hanging out with them and enjoy yourself soon. The thought that killing myself meant those who didn't believe in me 1. So I refused to die. Out of spite. Watch me live and succeed in life. Now. Thank you. My 9-year-old daughter. About 18 mths ago I was in a very bad place, but I am a single dad and I would not do anything to hurt my daughter. She's very lucky to have you. I hope you find peace someday. I was suicidal and taking Xanax, but I took too much on accident. I could feel a weight on my chest type of feeling. I was scared speechless from it. The day after, when I finally felt like I was able to do something, I adopted a puppy. She's been my reason to get up in the morning for over a year.